Okay, so day 2 of Orlando Magic free agency, and as of me recording this video right now, they've signed Joe Ingles to a 2-year, $11 million deal, and bringing back Moe Wagner on a 2-year, $16 million deal. And I kind of like these moves. I'm saying these moves because we know that Moe was going to come back, but especially Joe Ingles. And the reason why I like Joe Ingles is that not only is he going to be a 40% three-point shooter on nearly 4 attempts per game, or over 4 attempts per game, which is a great need shooting and floor spacing. He's a veteran guy who isn't your typical vet. If you don't know about Joe Ingles, a lot of guys around the NBA say Joe Ingles is a trash talker. He stands up for his teammates. He's the first guy if there's like a skirmish going on the court or like some sort of altercation. Joe Ingles is backing his teammates, getting in the middle of that. So little things like that can just help bring a team together. And overall, for a young team like the Magic, getting a vet like Joe Ingles in is going to be beneficial. Now, this is a guy who may not have won a ring, but he's really earned his stripes. He played overseas before he got his chance for the LA Clippers, I believe, then the Utah Jazz. And even with the Jazz, he may not have a ring, but he went through some tough, grueling, long playoff series in which he was a key contributor, being a key 3-and-D wing, guarding the opposing team's one of the opposing team's best players. So Joe Ingles knows what it's like to be in a dogfight throughout a 7-game series, so he can definitely apply that knowledge to this Orlando Magic squad, which is definitely going to help with growth and adapting to when they eventually get to the playoffs. The lights won't be too bright. You've got a few guys with playoff experience like Markelle in his first year with the Magic in the bubble against the Bucks. I believe that's about it, really. To be fair, Michael Carter-Williams and Bertadze, but they barely played in the playoffs when they were in there. So realistically, Joe Ingles was one of the few guys on your roster with serious playoff experience, which can definitely help your roster. Now, apart from the leadership side of things, Joe Ingles is still a productive NBA player. I believe he missed a season and a half or maybe a year due to an Achilles injury or an ACL, one of the two. And he may not be as aggressive as a defender as he once was, but he's still a good defender. And one thing he can definitely do is knock down an open shot. So I feel like this was a very unexpected signing, but it's a thing where I definitely think it was the right move to make. And just adding a veteran like this is definitely going to help this Magic team, because one thing teams tend to underlook is the veteran leadership. Like, you can't just have these group of talented young guys but not have a vet in the locker room who's been there, done that. They may not have been a superstar player, but they can tell them what it's like to play with a Donovan Mitchell and the work ethic and whatever it takes to become that kind of player. You get what I'm trying to say? So those kind of things definitely go a long way. But yeah, I mean, in the sense of a team that needs shooting, you drafted Jet Howard to help with that. You got a guy like Joe Ingles who can shoot 40%. So you're definitely helping with the floor spacing problem, I would say, there was last season. And guys like Markelle Paolo can kick it out to the corner knowing they have a reliable 3-point shooter who's likely going to knock the shot down. So that's just going to help your team as a whole. Now, I don't know how big of a role Joe Ingles is going to have. It really depends. He could have a similar role to what he had on the Bucks, which is around 20-ish minutes off the game. 20 minutes per game off the bench, that sort of role. But then again, he might have an even bigger role. Who knows? But I definitely feel like no matter what role Joe Ingles has, that leadership presence and what he brings to the table as a vocal guy who's going to hold guys accountable is something you can't really account for in the stat sheet. That's going to help behind the scenes. Like, if a guy like Wendell Carter has that big leap of a season, or if you see a guy like Franz become a 40% three-point shooter, I'm not saying it's going to be because of Joe Ingles. No. But there could be certain things that Joe Ingles helps these guys and directs them to in order for them to reach that kind of potential or that kind of level of play. So yeah, Joe Ingles can definitely help these guys in a variety of ways, and also on the court as well, because look at this team, yeah. Markelle Fultz is the vet. Don't get me wrong, Fultz is a hell of a player in my opinion, but calling Markelle the vet of your team is kind of crazy. I know they brought back Michael Carter-Williams to be that veteran leader with the team, which I don't really hate. That was last season, by the way. But then again, a vet like Joe Ingles is just different. Like, he's been in deep playoff series. He's been around star players. He's been around Giannis's, your Chris Middletons, your Drew Holidays, with the Clippers, with CP, Blake Griffin, with Gobert and Mitchell. So this guy's played with a lot of egos, a lot of stars. So he can genuinely help these guys in the sense that I've been around this type of player. This is what doesn't work. This is what I think works. If we play this way, then this is the outcome. So yeah, I'm not saying he's the coach. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. But there's certain things which Joe Ingles has seen through his own eyes and been in that kind of dogfighting experience, like I've said a billion times, which could help give perspective to a young Magic team and a young coach in Jamal Mosley. So yeah, this signing makes a lot of sense. And with Moe Wagner, to quickly touch on that, I like the energy he brought last season. I believe around December time is when Moe Wagner started to solidify himself as a very key rotational player for this team. The energy this guy plays with is honestly just phenomenal. Like, he'll make a basic layup but be screaming his fucking eyes out. But honestly, that kind of energy is what you need. The guy that's gonna up the tempo, you know, bring up the energy of the game. One big highlight play can get the whole bench standing up because Moe Wagner is going to be giving it to you. So that kind of player and energy guy is the type of player you want in your team. So for that kind of contract, I guess it's worth bringing it back. But overall, so far, free agency's been calm. Like I said, the Magic weren't in a position where they needed to get a big name free agent or overpay for a guy like Fred VanVleet. No, they just needed to be in a situation where they pick up the right guys, re-sign a guy like Moe Wagner, and keep building what they have. So that's what they've been doing. I'll be intrigued to see if there's any more moves that Jeff Waltman has up his sleeve. I'm not too sure, but you know, we'll see. But then again, so far so good. But in the comment section down below, let me know if you guys are happy with this free agency, whether you're confident or if there's a certain guy that's still available that you want to see. Put that all in the comment section down below. But thank you guys so much for listening to this video. Stay blessed and I'm out. Peace.